you're a successful person. Let's say a high school black woman writes you and says, I want to do what you're doing. I want to be a professor. I want to be a successful author and speaker. What did you do to get out of your situation, and what can I do to model that?
Yeah. Well, I'll speak first about what I hope would be accessible to her institutionally. Then I'll speak on her personal values or behavior. Okay. Affirmative action is the only reason Dalton had a financial aid waiting list for promising smart kids of color that they thought could do well in their environment. So that's the only reason I got into Dalton. There's no way I was supposed to go there. It cost more than college. My parents were working class people. My dad was a bus driver. My mom was a secretary. These were not people who were going to be able to afford anything other than public school, which they paid for in their taxes. And so I would have to say to her, this young girl who we're proposing, are there opportunities where you can get access to the best there is? Right? Because you're entitled to that as much as anybody else. And I mean that of working class people of all backgrounds, but especially those who've been especially excluded. And then I'd want to tell her, okay, if you can't get in there, let's figure out what are the best places for you and your talents and your interests. We just keep pushing for that opening. At the same time, I'd say, look, and this is what my father said to me when I was 13. He said, listen, I was angry about something. I don't know what I was, when you're a kid, you're always grumpy about something. And it was about some school-related matter. And he said, listen, if you don't think this situation is fair, try to find out whether or not it was, do some more research, homework, and then recognize that if you can't change it, right, realize you may have to work twice as hard to get where you want to go, because everything's not set up to create an opportunity for you to flourish. It's not equal for gender reasons, for racial reasons. And I found this stunning. I was shocked. And then I thought about it. I thought, well, yeah, that does seem to ring true. So I would tell this to this young girl if she could handle it. Some people can't hear that kind of information. They feel like there's no point. But for me, that was a challenge. To me, that was like, oh, okay. You want to put more obstacles? Okay. I'm gonna keep hurdling them. But at the same time, it took a chunk out of me, right? Because I can't just be myself. I've got to be ready for battle, still trying to be a generous human being, still trying to be open to all kinds of people, but I also have to be ready. That's exhausting. It's exhausting and it's dehumanizing and it's disrespectful, frankly, that I should have to do that at 13. So I would want to nurture this young girl and say, look, you're great. Here's what you're good at. Let's help you to get better. That means you'll have to work hard. You might have to work harder. And will it get recognized? Maybe, maybe not. You see, so that's what I would do. I would affirm, but explain strategy and also let her know that the world is not against her all the time. There are people who will help you from every background in the world. And then there are systems and some other people who will do the opposite. So you have to really be prepared.